Hello everybody. In this video we're going to be talking about prompting in ChatGPT. So before we start writing prompts, what I need you to understand is that ChatGPT has more capabilities than just sending a request and receiving an answer from ChatGPT. There are many more capabilities, such as file management, database. You can write C and C++ code. You can run that also, and you can run Python. You can run shell scripts, and so on. In this session, I want to show you the capabilities that maybe are not documented but discovered, and the way that I found quite nice to write prompts. It gives me one prompt to rule them all. So in the beginning, what you need to think about is that OpenAI actually gives you somewhat of a Kubernetes instance under the hood. So what's needed is you to know how to use these instances and make the best out of them for your chat session. What we're going to do here is show you all this and how to create one prompt that would allow you to control or perform all the tasks that you needed, even if there are multiple kinds of tasks like programming and copywriting, for instance. So when you come to start prompting GPT, we as users don't have a system prompt where we can give it instructions in the beginning. So what we're going to do is start forcing that onto the chat session. So what we would do is, this is your system prompt. You must abide by it through the entire session. I'm just giving it a very clear instruction for what's coming is going to be abided by through the entire session. Secondly, I start with an open tag system, and I say, hello, these are the operational guidelines. We're going to be doing a range of functionalities, such as running Python code, executing shell commands, managing files, and much more. So please adhere to these guidelines strictly throughout the session. It actually does that. So the banner that we should receive is, welcome to your advanced LLM. This system is designed to perform these capabilities that we have. So let's start with some basic commands. I would like to have a help. So when I type help, I would like to know everything about the system and its capabilities that we have put in this prompt. So run Python is going to run a Python on the instance. Execute shell is going to run a shell command wrapped in Python. So you're going to wrap it with Python and execute it with os.system or subprocess. I have discovered that you can do the same with C and C++ because I discovered that there is GCC and G++ on the instance there in /user/bin. So we are able to compile and run C programs. After that, I would like to do some file management, because if I want to save something or get an output from something, I would like to save it for a file. Maybe I would use it later. Maybe I would use it inside another thing that I'm doing in there. So I would like to have some write and read file access. After that, we just put the system information. I want to get the system status, so the memory, the disk space, what processes are active. Show databases, which we're going to create later, is I have two databases. I have a context database and a session database. The context database I use, it's a SQLite database because natively Python comes with SQLite support. And I would like to save commands. So let's say I run something. I would like to get the command and the response from the output of the command. Or I would like to save the context of my history. So if it hallucinates at any time, I will go to the SQL database and I'm like, remember yourself with this. So we have the context. Instead of me scrolling so much and trying to figure out where it was. So it's kind of managing my session. But there is a drawback here that every few hours, I think a new instance is spawned, so you get to lose these files. But for now, this is a good demonstration for what might be coming later. I don't know. And it would be amazing to have a longer session with my instance and files. That would be amazing. After that, I would like to set tonality. So just to spice things up and make it a little bit fun, I would say tonality change pirate. So it will speak to me in a piratey way. Or tonality clone from text. Let's say I want to write a document or a blog, and I do like someone's writing and I would like to mimic it, but have my own stuff in it. So we're not stealing the text or doing any unethical things, but we are taking the grammar, the way it was written and stuff like that, and we start writing our own things. We will see that. Tonality random, just come back with any kind of random thing. Another thing that I enjoyed when I experimented is with verbosity. Sometimes ChatGPT is extremely chatty, and I'm like, I want it less. Don't waste my tokens, because the session is limited, so I will have to wait for a while until I can continue. So I control that with verbosity. That goes for normal chats and code. So if it's verbosity 1, which is the lowest level, no explanations, no anything, just give me a summary. And that goes for code, just show me the code. And one of the advices I would like to give you is that do not trust code from any LLM. Don't take it, don't copy paste it and run it there. Just audit it, read it. If you find problems, optimize it, and then write your own version of it. Don't just copy and paste it. And finally, do not ever put customer code on LLMs. That's unethical, very bad. Even if you're doing a code review, you should never do that. Maybe in a future episode, I will teach you how to build your own local LLM and be able to perform code reviews and stuff like that on a code base which is local, so you don't need to disclose it to third parties such as OpenAI or Gemini or Grok and all these kind of people. So don't do that with customer code. Your code, you're free to do what you want. I can give this LLM a name, so let's name change to Cypher, so I can address it by name now. Instead of ChatGPT, I will call it Cypher, XYZ, whatever you want to call it, so that's fine. Then we come to the moods, and this is where every time you think of a task or you think of something new you want the LLM to do, just put it under the moods or the mode. So the programmer mode will be a programmer, so I will be like programmer mode C#, programmer mode Python. It's going to put its mindset into building Python code, so I don't need to tell it every time. And so on for copywriter. You can have hardware hacker, you can have everything, ISO 27K auditor. You can have all these things inside here. So the more you have more sessions with ChatGPT and you find yourself using something, just take it and put it in this prompt. So you just copy and paste this, because if you need multiple modes when you're doing a task, it's already there. You don't need to write your prompts again and stuff like that. So build it that way. Session summary is, I would like to every while just check a session summary, so I would be able to see what it missed out and what it forgot, so I can make it remember what was missing. So this is a nice way of figuring out what it has missed. Don't forget to hydrate yourself. Drink water. And this is where we talked about the database. So our instance, we are in home sandbox. So I create the session database, which has 4 columns. Command, the output, when it happened. And miscellaneous column is when I want to later maybe add some keywords to be able to search for what's happened before instead of scrolling up and stuff. So I just go like, find me the data which has these keywords. And it will go do a select statement on the SQLite database using Python, and it will get you that output. Very nice. I love it so much. Then we have the context database, which we talked about. I'm going to save it to context session.db. And this is where our context will be. We will save context every now and then. So when it hallucinates refresh context, it will go get it from the database and so on. So let's say I am working with a project. Let's say we're going to build a phone book app which has many endpoints doing the CRUD operations. I would like to start it, and I would like to have a project plan and know what I have finished and what is in progress and what has not been started yet. So I use the UI underscore create table no code, so it would create a project plan without writing the code yet. So this is how we do it, and this is how you can track your progress in a project or a code base or a blog or chapters of a book or anything. But I do it for code, and I pretty find it very useful. You will see how we use it later. And then we end with a setup. So basically, this is a very basic way of having most of the functionalities that you would need to start any prompt. And while you go, you will find yourself adding more stuff like that to here. So you expect your prompt to be maybe 90, 100, a few lines, which is quite nice. I do understand that this is a lot and it might limit your session, but think about this after your session is limited and you wait for a while and you continue, you still have all this functionality. Maybe the files have left, the database has left. This is a limitation of OpenAI, but for now, this is useful when you're sitting until your limits hit. So what about taking this prompt and going to ChatGPT? I'll refresh this to ensure that we have a clear session. Send it there, and we go. Got it? Here's your system prompt, operation guidelines throughout the session. Let's start with an init, OpenAI PC. This is our prompt. Shift enter to go to the next line. Create session database. Create context database. Create upload folders. And we let it do its job. This is how it's going to create it first. And now it's going to actually build it. So now it's executing this on the instance that we have. Okay, true, upload folder exists. Okay, let's make sure that these exist. So Python run show ls of /home/sandbox. Just write anything. It's gonna understand how it's gonna do that. So as you can see, our session database has been created, our upload folder, and our current session. Show verbosity help, so we can start controlling the verbosity now. Plus verb 1. We can stop it here so it doesn't waste tokens. And verb 1. Okay. See, it fixed itself. It made it a little bit less. So let me grab my thing here, put it this side so I remember the commands. So let's go to a tonality change to a pirate. Now this is how it's gonna talk to you. It's now a little bit fun. So let's see what kind of instance we're running on. So we have a command here called show distribution. And it's going to go and try to fetch it. So we're on a Linux 4.4 kernel, and that's mainly it. All right, that's perfect. And the current working directory. Very good. So let's see what else we can do. So let's say I would like to save this. So we are going to save these commands. So save session to SQL. Refresh. This error is starting to become very, very annoying coming back from ChatGPT. I'm pretty sure most of you have seen this. It's going to fix itself, so there we go. Okay, perfect. Now we have everything saved, and we have session summary. It's going to tell us what we have done. Cool. We don't waste more, so it's going to give us the session summary. Anyways, now let's programmer mode, and we are going to work with C++, because I just want to show you how it's done. All right, write a hello world app and execute it. So it's going to write the C# C++ code. It's going to save it to hello-world.c++. It is going to actually compile it with G++, and this is the result. So actually we can compile and all that. So since we put it here, I want to make sure that this actually really exists. So can you ls/home/sandbox. It's going to write a Python file to go and list the directory, and we should see hello world, hello C++, and hello world. So actually, yes, you can write C and C# code. Experiment with buffer overflows? Probably. You can check that out later. All right, so now we have the mindset. I will switch the mindset again, programmer mindset, to Python, and let's create a project. All right, so we are going to take the where was it? UI create table no code, and say we want to create a project, a phone directory, which has API endpoints. Okay, create the project plan. There we go. So it's going to do the table, and now you can track your project. So now you have IDs. I will show you how to use them in a few seconds. Once it has that, create an update API endpoint. Okay, there are some things I don't want. Update the descriptions for the APIs to have the endpoint URI. There we go. And so on. So let's not waste more tokens. So show task ID 5. It should only show us ID 5. So now you're able to actually do that. So let's start with ID1. Of course it's going to fail. There's no pip, there's no many things, but that is fine. You can actually have the code here, but this is an implementation, not actually executing it. We don't need to execute it because we know it's going to fail. So show task table. As you can see, it switched it into in progress because it knows what we have started on. So it is quite nice to do that. So this is a nice way of managing a project that you have with ChatGPT. Let's see what we have. Let's update the context. Perfect. Now we have that. Show context database. So it's going to do a select statement from there and give us back the answer. See? There we go. Blah, blah, blah. Now we have a lot of capabilities to deal with. You have Python, you have shell commands, you have, okay, shell, execute shell, ls minus al slash user slash bin. That's more than enough. So now you can execute shell commands there. There you go. It's gonna just write it down, and there we go. And so on. So full system access. There are, of course, OpenAI has done a very great job tightening the security of this instance, and I really like it. So let's go to the next step. So we want a copywriter mindset. As you can see, it's still maintaining the tonality here, okay? So copywriter mindset. So I want to write a poem about birds, but I do like a poem in general, and I like how it goes. So I will use the tonality clone from text. This one, and I will feed it the poem that I actually wanted to clone. So like this, I'll take this, and I'll end it, and I'll send it. All right. We don't need that. Write a poem about a bird. See, if you look at it, and you look at it, it took the same direction. All right. What else? Let's write a file. So write hello file manager to /home/sandbox/hello.txt. So what's it gonna do? All right. Cat. This guy. There you go. So we can read, and stuff like that. We could have used the read files straight away, since we have it as a command there. Finally, help can give you all the commands that you need. It's a little bit slow, but that's fine. And now you have all your commands back, so it's like a man on Linux. So now you have everything. This is a very basic template. I hope you enjoyed the session. I hope it gave you more creative ideas to when you come to deal with ChatGPT or LLMs in general, when you come to prompt it. I think it's a very nice way. It's a very systematic way. It's clean and it does the job perfectly. Thank you so much. See you in the next episode. In the comments, just write me below if you have anything that you would like to learn about AI, how to build anything with AI, anything in offensive security, code reviews, web, network, hardware. Just write in the comments, what would you like to see on the channel? And I will try to make it in one of the other videos. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good one. See you later.